Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. The headlines for tonight are concerning the Djibouti-Ethiopia relations. The head of state stressed in an interview the existence, privileged bilateral relations and exceptional relations that exist between the two brotherly and friendly countries. And concerning the Ministry of the Budget, training launch in engineering, training of future training of these departments. And concerning the West Africa meeting on the fight against terrorism. Let's get into the details now. During an interview that the President of the Republic granted to the press, several topics were discussed, including the relationship with Somalia, the termination of contract with the company DP World, job creation and infrastructure, as well as that of housing in Djibouti. In the political dimension, the head of state was questioned about the privileged relation between Djibouti and Ethiopia in the recent first official visit of the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed Ali. Finally, questioning on the reasons that led the new Prime Minister of Ethiopia to dedicate to Djibouti his first visit abroad, President Anglais described this choice as an approach in accordance with the privileged and exceptional nature of the relation between the two countries, engaged in an important process of economic integration and pooling of their wealth. We intend to extend this process of economic integration to all the countries of the Horn of Africa, including Kenya, where I have recently been on an official visit, as well to Somalia, since this brother country will have definitely returned to lasting stability, he promised the head of state. In his response also on Ethiopia-Djibouti relation, the head of state Ismail Omar Guelleh did not fail to point out that thanks to the efforts of the late former Ethiopian Prime Minister, Ethiopia has an important role in the Horn of Africa for economic integration as well a peacekeeping mission in the Horn of Africa. It has also a good relationship with the countries of the region. The decision makers of the regions must have the same vision in this context, said the head of state. New Ethiopian Prime Minister has reserved his first visit to our country, said the head of state. Djibouti and Ethiopia share their balances with an exemplary integration program. We have taken our loans together for major infrastructure such as the ports, the new railway line linking Djibouti to Addis Ababa, as well as the air transport. In addition to Djibouti and Ethiopia, we have promoted the Somali sister republic to share the momentum of development, concluded the head of state Ismail Omar Guelleh. And still with the national news, a mission composed of ENA experts from Ivory Coast who are staying in Djibouti as part of a seminar organized for the future trainers of the Financial Application Center known as CAFE, was received this morning by the Minister of the Budget, Bode Ahmed Roble, to take stock of the progress of this seminar at a midterm exchange. It is to remind the satisfaction of the first wave of participants in this training session. This hearing was an opportunity also for the Minister of Budget, Bode Ahmed Roble, to highlight the excellent partnership between Djibouti and Ivory Coast, and in particular the ENA from Ivory Coast. The minister also wished to extend this cooperation between these two sister countries to other areas. And following the seminar, which was organized for a first group from 3 to 7 June 2018 as part of the training in pedagogical engineering of the future training of the Financial Application Center from the Ministry of the Budget, a second group is called to follow a similar program that will run from 10 to 14 June 2018. The work, always animated by the experts of the ENA from Ivory Coast, began this morning in the presence of all the participants who will receive at the end of this training workshop certificates of formations. And still with the national news, the King Salman Relief and Humanitarian Relief Center has provided 37 tons of dates to WFP Djibouti office. The interim chargé d'affaires of the Saudi embassy in Djibouti, Hassan bin Mohammed Al Ahmari, chaired this morning ceremony dedicated to the remission of the 37 tons of dates for the World Food Program offered by the King Salman Center of Relief as well humanitarian actions. The event was attended by the representative of the WFP in Djibouti, among others, Monitene Shimuka, the director of the multilateral relation, Gele Idris, in addition to the representative of the Ministry of Finance, Sultan bin Mohammed Al Mufdeif, and the representative of the center, King Salman Abdurrahman Al Umar. WFP World Food Program Djibouti will distribute this important shipment of data to refugees living in the country, as well as to poor as well low income families. Let's recall that these initiatives for the permanent support provided by the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to the Republic of Djibouti, according to the Chargé d'Affaires of the Saudi Embassy in Djibouti. The headquarters of the Arab private school called Al Amal, located at Hoden 2 neighborhood, has hosted yesterday a ceremony dedicated to the closure of the competition of the Holy Quran organized during the best month of Ramadan by the Sanabil Al Khair Association. The ceremony was held in the presence of the executive director of the NGO Al Rahma International Office of the Saudi Arabia Embassy in Djibouti, as well as the director of the regional office of the Ministry of Islamic Affairs and chairman of the association Sanabil Al Khair Idris Abdu, representative of the local as well international charitable organization. Tens of universities, imam and students participate at this event, and during this event the first contest winners receive important prizes such as laptop, computers and tablet. The chairman of the board of directors association, Sanabil Al-Khair, delivered a speech at the ceremony in which he emphasized the importance of the Quran competition set up by his NGO. And still with the national news, on Saturday, June 9th, dates were distributed in the Wadi village of Ubukh region. This ceremony took place in the presence of the acting prefect, Ali Mohammed Maki, as well as the president of the regional council, Mohammed Hamad Ismail. In their intervention during the distribution, the authorities did not fail to specify that this gift was received by the regional council from the first lady of the country and president of the UNFD, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid. They did not fail to thank for this generous donation made to the rural population affected by the drought. On their side, the lucky beneficiaries also showed their gratitude to the First Lady, Mrs. Khadra Mahmoud Haid. In Dakhil region now, on the night of Uprise 7, which was also the 23rd evening of the month blessed of Ramadan, held the city of the unit, a great religious animation on the place of independence calls also place Bernard. Indeed, as usual in this great religious evening, which is already in its 8th edition and which also took place during the blessed month of Ramadan, the prefect of the region of Dakhil, Mohammed Sheikhu, invited Sheikh Omar Aden Duxier, once again honored his presence and presided for the 8th consecutive year this evening of a religious animation where the qasaid as well as dua and hadith succeeded one another. Also participating in the ceremony were the Deputy Prefect Fuad Abukar, the Regional Council President Abdurrahman Yunis Harri, the local elected representative, the Imam as well ulama of the region, the heads of the decentralized service as well as the population. And under the auspices of the State Secretary for Youth and Sport, the Djiboutian Federation of Chess Games proceeded last night at the launch of its first regional championship individual at this Goulet Stadium. The presence of the Director of Sport, Abshir Ali, President of the International Chess Association, Patrick Hollande, as well as the president, as well members of the Djiboutian Federation of Chess against this unprecedented regional championship, which will last from June 9 to 17. We'll see 6 countries, namely Egypt, Ethiopia, Rwanda, Somalia, Uganda as well. Finally, the host country Djibouti. Let's remember that this major event comes almost after a month of another major regional event that the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport had the honor to organize, and which are the 11th games of the CHOSI. Indeed, the succession of the major events organized by our department is a sign of good health of the enlightened policy of the head of state in matters of youth and its procurement of a better future for sports in general and youth in particular. Also, Djiboutians are invited to go to the Goulet Stadium to support their players. Let's get into the details into the international news. A meeting on the fight against terrorism in West African countries. Terrorism attacks and their consequences continue to raise awareness in different African countries. Report.
The attacks and their consequences continue to raise concern in different African countries. Between January and June 2018, more than 100 days were recorded in various terrorist incidents across Africa. The attack came at a time when West African countries are increasingly moving toward the effective establishment of an autonomous African force that will essentially invest in the fight against jihadist groups. In order to accelerate its establishment, the France-West African Interparliamentary Friendship Group, consisting of 17 African countries, have discussed several strategies that could help in the fight against this phenomenon. During a strategic meeting held on Saturday, June 9, 2018 in Paris, they addressed the various problems impeding the fight against.
The Ivorian government wants to increase its domestic rice production while also aiming to become food self-sufficient by 2020. Let's follow this report.
The Ivorian government wants to increase its domestic rice production while always aiming to become food self-sufficient by 2020. To achieve this objective, the country has just received a $13 million loan facility from the Exim Bank of India. The money will be used to build new infrastructure to pause rice production. According to a government spokesperson, 13 production units with a capacity of 25,000 tons per year should be operational by the end of the year. 12 out of the 13 production units are already in operation. In order for the government's lofty ambition to be realized, it has reduced the price of local rice to stave off competition from imported rice into the country. Imported rice is still very popular, and imported numbers have even increased from 1.25 million tons to 1.45 billion tons between 2016 and 2017.
So that's it for the news. Thanks for being with us on RTD channel.